Alright everybody, how you doing? Welcome back to Havler House Fabrication. I'm Dave Havler. Today's video is on the RPU from CTU. We'll be working on modifying the transmission tunnel for some gas pedal clearance. First order of business will be to get rid of the upper cowl area so we can get some light in and see what we're doing. What we have going on here is a set of Kugel Components 90-degree clutch and brake pedal assembly. And here's some shots showing how I mounted it. And the material I used to mount the assembly was some 1/8 inch and 3/16 flat plate, along with some 1-inch DOM 120 wall tubing, and braced it up between the firewall and the side of the cowl to eliminate any chance of having it flex. Basically what I had to do here was I had to back up and regroup a little bit. We had opened up the hole in the transmission tunnel for what we thought would give us enough gas pedal clearance. But upon figuring out where the driver would sit and where his heel would be, we decided we would open up that hole a little bit larger so that we could have a little more room for a little more travel with the pedal. So here I'm drilling a couple holes to be able to use a hole punch and put a nice round radius in the corners of where we're opening up the hole. The next thing I needed to do was to drop down the bell housing and transmission just a little bit to give me access for the second hole that I needed to put in the tunnel. Then I just used a simple piece of masking tape to connect the outside of the radius of the two holes to be able to use a Sharpie and get a straight line to then use the whiz wheel and open up the hole a little bit more. I kind of felt that it was going to be an easier shape to do also than what I originally started with, as there's a lot of different radiuses going on in this bell housing area, and trying to fit a recess into it, I just kind of thought it'd be a little simpler to go with this larger, easier shaped hole than what I originally went with also. You can see we added probably about 1.5 inches or so to the amount of the hole. Then it was time to get the pedals out of the way for doing the cutting and grinding that I needed to do, and just unbolt everything and get them out of the way. Then I broke out the simple 90-degree air grinder whiz wheel with I believe it was an 045 grinding disc, and followed the lines that I described in it earlier to take out what I wanted. And then I wanted to get the transmission back up where it was to prepare for making my wire buck. The next part of the video here is just simply using a few different grinders that I have to dress up the edge of the area that I opened up as I am getting ready to make the wire buck. I would want to make sure that there's no burrs or anything that's going to lead me astray with the fabrication of the wire buck. I'm using some light cardboard, heavy paper to use as a pattern to come up with the outside edges of the wire buck, just to kind of get a shape of where they're going to fit around the outside edge of the hole I opened up. As you can see here, what I wanted to do was find where I needed to put my clecos, so I didn't drill holes for clecos and then find out that they wouldn't line up. I took a piece of 18 gauge material and cut it 1.125 wide, scribed it at 1 inch, and marked off the cardboard patterns onto that, and then cut them to size. Then here I'm marking off 1 inch increments to where the possibility of my wires will meet up with the outside edge of this wire buck. Simple little snapper to index where I'll drill. small little hand shear here to cut them out. Then it was off to the drill press to drill some 1/8 inch holes, as the wire I'm going to be using for the buck is 3 32nds, and the 1 inch holes will allow the material to cradle in it. Here you can see where I marked off the 1 inch and where the holes are drilled, and the piece on the left I sheared halfway through the 1/8 inch holes. So now when I use the clecos to hold these plates, the edge of the 1/8 inch holes will be at the edge of the opening in the floor. That way the material that will make the wire that will make up the form can fit in those and then not be moving around on me as I'm trying to fit in shape as close as I can to the bell housing. Here you can see I got my MIG welder ready to go, and I got the first one tacked in to kind of set where my 90 degree will come up to, and by having these other holes I can easily space them out and keep my 90 degree area here running uniform down the top of the bell housing. As you can see here, the MIG welder did a really great job of tying all the wires together. I was very happy with the way the radius worked out here on the front edge, and how the curve here in the corner is going to work out. The 90 degree part here is nice and straight coming down this one edge at the far right of the tunnel area, and I think it's going to work out really nice. As you can see here, I started making my paper pattern. I'm hoping to try and make this thing in 3 pieces. We'll see how it works out. Might end up 4. See. That's going to be it for this video. I'll come back with another one with showing the sheet metal. If you like this, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. It'll help us out a bunch. And until the next time, have at it.